Patch 1.4 just dropped for Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl, and while it brought in a decent wave of updates and optimizations, it also broke quite a few things, from full-blown startup crashes to busted saves and persistent A-life limitations, and even broke controller support. Many players, especially those on high-end rigs, are running into serious issues. In this video, I'll go over what's broken, what might be coming in future patches, and what you can do to get around it for now. Let's jump right in. First up, shader compilation crashes. This is hitting high-end PCs the hardest. We're talking rigs with Ryzen 9 CPUs and RTX 490 GPUs, and the game crashes almost immediately during the shader compilation set up at startup. This is a critical phase in Unreal Engine games where shaders are prepped based on your system's hardware. Players report that these crashes continue even after a clean reinstall. What's more confusing is that some users also experience strange language glitches during this phase. One minute the language is English and the next it's suddenly Russian or Ukrainian in the launcher or setup dialogues. It's likely a conflict between the driver versions and the current engine configuration, not something users can fix entirely without dev support, but we'll cover what we can try shortly. One of the most heartbreaking bugs is save game crashes. Many players returning after the update are loading up their previous saves only to be met with an instant crash to the desktop. This is affecting both modded and unmodded saves. Here is the kicker: starting a new game does bypass the crash in many cases, which tells us there might be something in the save structure that changed post-patch. But obviously, that comes at the expense of your progress. And for those who sunk hours into exploring the zone, that's a brutal loss. Now let's talk about AI behavior, or rather its lack. Despite the ongoing updates to A-Life systems, the infamous 100-meter render bubble is still here. This means that NPCs and mutants will only become active and behave dynamically if you're physically close to them in-game. Outside of that radius, they essentially freeze or despawn. This destroys immersion. Stalker is known for its living world, and right now, it just doesn't feel alive unless you're in the right place at the right time. Yesterday, I posted a persistent A-Life upgrades mentioned in the early patch notes, but by the end of the day, that section was removed from the official changelog. That likely means GSC is holding off until patch 1.5, which is expected in June. So if you're wondering where the smarter AI went, it didn't make it in this patch. I'll keep tracking this and update you as we hear more. Subscribing is the best way to stay informed. Even when it's running, performance isn't great. Stalker 2 is built on Unreal Engine 5. While that engine is powerful, it is also notoriously unstable, especially on open world projects. Players are seeing stuttering, frame drops, and sudden spikes in VRAM usage. Even top-tier machines aren't immune. This suggests that the game still needs to be correctly optimized for the engine, or that Unreal needs to fine-tune the engine itself for this kind of game. Modders are also running into problems. Patch 1.4 has broken compatibility with many existing mods. Some users say the game still refuses to launch even after removing mods completely. In extreme cases, players are locked out entirely without error messages or clues. This suggests residual files or internal changes in game logic aren't handled cleanly when switching back to vanilla. If you're using mods, consider waiting until modders update their content before patching. A minor but annoying issue is that the game randomly resets language settings after updating. Players launch the game only to find the menus and UI in a different language, sometimes without touching the config files. And yes, controller support is still inconsistent. Here's what's going wrong. Sensitivity feels sluggish even when maxed out. Input recognition is unreliable. The game detects Xbox and PlayStation controllers, the UI updates accordingly, but inputs often don't work in gameplay. Some users have resolved this by disabling Steam input and enabling generic gamepad configuration support under Steam's controller settings. It's a partial fix, but it doesn't work for everyone. Check out my playlist for some custom controller settings that have helped others. I'll soon release an updated 2025 controller fix video. Until we get a proper hotfix or patch, here are a few things you can do now that might help mitigate some of these issues. Verify your game files via Steam, right-click, Properties, Install Files, Verify Integrity. Update your GPU drivers to the latest version. This has helped with shader crash errors. Start a new game if your old saves are crashing. Monitor official channels from GSC Game World for hotfix announcements. If you want to stay ahead of the curve, here are some links to bookmark or follow. Hopefully this helps clarify what is going on in patch 1.4. If you're having issues, let me know in the comments or check the playlists I've linked here on screen. Consider subscribing for fast updates with zero filler. The Legends of the Zone video and updated controller fix guide are here. The updated version is coming very soon, so be sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you want to keep your Stalker experience smooth. Thanks for watching and stay safe in the zone.